Guys, love a little bit of Blink 182. One of my favourites. So thank you very much for being here. Should be another should be a fun stream, I hope. I mean, it's always pretty fun when Evil Little McNuggets on. So g'day, Evil Little McNuggets.
Aw, hi.
And how are you going?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Yeah, really well, thanks. I'm doing good. So I really enjoyed the first part of this one that we did. So this will be this will be a good second part, I think.
Yeah. Also, I wanted to ask, were you calling me out with that song?
What do you mean?
This is growing up.
Oh no, no other meaning, no other meaning intended there. That um that was my very first Blink 182 song I heard. I remember it vividly. Back in the well, actually, I was going to say, back in the day of compilation CDs and that, but you probably don't. But anyone that
Oh my
is
god.
more my vintage, there was like a real compilation CDs like So Fresh and all this kind of stuff were like all the rage, and it was like the X Games put out a compilation CD, and I got that and I heard that and I was like, wow, I think this is my new favourite band. So then I just like binged on Blink 182 and I've loved them ever since. So there's some information probably nobody really wanted to know, but there you go.
No,
So
I think we like collecting this information about you, especially knowing that you have frosted tips.
yeah, that's just put it into the folder, which which
Do you have a folder labeled Cornville Three-Way on your computer?
you must like me a lot then. Cool. So we won't muck around too much. We will get into the second part of this call pretty soon. Now, for context for everyone, basically, this is Lorne talking to Debbie. So Debbie has basically taken over Winnie's phone because Winnie's, not in a very good place as Winnie tends to do, and has found a picture of Lorne that Lorne sent to Winnie of him shitting, like literally in mid shit. Um, he is a compulsive liar, so he denies that it was him. Actually, I don't know if we've really got into the denials yet. Like, there's been a whole lot of back and forth and shit, and where it kind of left off, he's going through all the excuses as to why he's so fucked up, and we're currently at Amanda James. So, when we start the call, we would have gone back about 2 or 3 minutes from where we left off, just to kind of run into that. But yeah, that's where we will be. So I'll go through and say hello to everyone, and then we'll get into it. And I do have a new um, Aussie Man reviews for a palate cleanser about halfway through. So
Ooh, I'm excited.
excellent. G'day, Spencer Silvera and Bundaberg Bogan. Great to see you could catch a live. G'day, Cybersqueak and the Zapper and Rachel D and Unreal SVT. Lorne does have uh, cow udders, and speaking of that, that's my reminder to put up our template and our fantastic stream image provided by the one and only Evil Little McNuggets. So look at those
Thank you.
udders. Beautiful.
That
Just.
was my first ever like try at digital art.
Oh really? Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it's very good regardless. But considering that's your first try, that's incredible.
Oh, thank you.
G'day, hey Boo and Sting and Cybersqueak and Evil Little Big Nuggets obviously in the chat there. And
Who's
Smokey the
that?
Who is that? G'day, Smokey the Cat. Let's go, guys, in Cornville Three Ways accent. And I'm still watching out for Ruse, thanks. And also Ragefield Virgin. Oh, no, don't worry if you're not in chat. I'm glad that you're here listening. And g'day, Guru. What's up, nerds? G'day, one of those weirdos, and the Duchess of Cornville, and the Time Machine, and Popeye the Trailer Man, and Lorenzic Files, and Logan W. Oh no, Green Day chick. It would be, be perfect. Next time I play a Green Day song, I hope Green Day chick is in the chat. And g'day Anthony R. and Dark Atheist and Call Emma. Call Emma and Dan. And G'day Poop Frog and Drive 137. And Goes to Tony Farmer, hello sir. And the poem that Lorne wrote. I love that fucking poem. G'day Brad AK. And g'day Anderson Birdbath. And g'day to Winnie's boyfriend / husband. And Jeff W. And Ricardo Mercedes. And some jealous basement dweller. And La Senorita. And Cornville Councillor. Chupchu Grand. Oh my god. Chupper Grandson. Chachapate Billy. Puss in Breets.
Is it not Chupa? Because I pronounce it Chupa.
Oh, maybe it is, and that probably would sound better. Chupa grandson. Okay, even if it's not, that's what I'm saying from now on. I feel I can actually get that out without stumbling over it. G'day, Mandy S. And DMA124. And sorry, my screen jumped around there, so if I missed someone that was in that quadrant, I'm sorry for that. And cool, I think I got everyone there. So let's let's crack in.
I get off the phone with her. I get on the computer and try to hack into her email. I get her password on the first guess. It was Bono U2 from Bono from the group U2.
Yeah, and bullshit. And I called bullshit last time, and I'm calling it again. I mean, I don't think he hacked into her email because I don't think he is smart enough to do that.
No, I mean, like, how is his own password's like printer? I don't think he could guess another password.
No. So I don't know what the point of this lie is, but it's definitely a lie. And g'day, Tranquillo. And okay, Drive 137 says I have to roll my R's. So, like, is that for the chupar? Chupar? Is that what I'm doing? It means grandson.
I think he.
Sorry, Chupa grandson is saying it means a grandson sucker, like the chupacabra goat sucker. Lovely.
I thought he meant that wanted you to get like some clip art of the letter R and just like roll it around on screen for everyone.
Maybe that's what he meant. And g'day Rimo K.
Bono U2 was your password. I saw a letter there from another guy that she had met like 2 months before this happened, and she had slept with him. So a couple of pictures of other guys naked, and then where I got really confused was that her name was the name Leslie being on the letter. I'm like, well, who the hell's Leslie? Because I knew her as Amanda James. Well, I called her and confronted her with everything that I found out.
What if he just had the wrong email and it was just some random chick named Leslie?
Look, and would you put that past Lorne? Because it's not like he would double check anything. Not like he would be like, "Huh, Leslie, that's bizarre. Well, I hope I've got the right email here." But he'd just be like, "What the fuck? Who the fuck's this fucking guy, Leslie? You told me your daughter was your niece. I'm very sensitive about nieces." G'day, Jennifer.
She went away from my house and up the hill where her cell phone would come in so that she could talk to me, and she told me everything. She said she'd been wanting to tell me for a long time but didn't know how to tell me. And it took 6 months before her and I could completely stop talking to each other, because I wasn't sure if I wanted to continue it or not after being lied to like that.
So he has apparently caught her out in lying to him, consistently about everything about it, and ripping him off for Dale Earnhardt merchandise, but he still talked to her for 6 months after that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's not a surprise, but it is surprising.
It's surprising in that it shows that he's had this pattern for a really long time. Like, we discovered this with Winnie, that he'll put up with anything, but it's always been there. Ramona didn't get him out of any patterns, apparently.
No, despite his insistence that she did, but no patterns.
Yeah, and I think we're We're past the 3-year mark, so he should be able to recall it pretty soon.
He really should. He really should. And g'day, explosive diarrhea, bonjour, and mutang.
All of this stuff was a really long time ago.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so why is it still here?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Well, number one, you don't have any way to cope. You don't have any coping mechanisms that are healthy. And number two, you're not honest about it.
Not honest about what?
About
the story? That's the story.
Not necessarily. I'm not
being
necessarily
honest.
talking about details. I'm talking about your reasoning.
But my reasoning for what, though?
A lot of what you're saying when the hard questions come up is I don't know and I don't understand. And that's a lie. Because you do. You don't want to admit it. It's going to be difficult to do that, but you have to. You have to be honest in order to start moving forward. You have to say, it's not Paula's fault. It's not Amanda James's fault. It's not all of these other
Fucking
people
Paula.
that have been involved. It's not their
Fucking Paula. And Dark Atheist. Hey, buddy, what's up? And well, that is a rough joke there, Logan W.
Hold
Logan,
on, I need to go back and read it.
he says, "What do Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Pink Floyd have in common? Last big hit was The Wall."
I guess I'm not elderly enough to get that.
Dale Earnhardt died in a race hitting a wall.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind. That's sad.
It's a bit sad.
fault either. It's not perverted justice or this Xavier Phillip person. It's not their fault. You're putting yourself into these situations and you're not taking ownership for them. And you're not being honest about your reasons.
But all I've ever wanted was somebody that's going to be honest with me about things, not hide who the person that they are.
So then why are you allowing people who are hiding the people that they are? How are you allowing them into your life then?
So I want to give them a chance to believe them, to show me who they are, who they really are.
So you're
I don't know if I'm
expecting.
wrong.
So he wants to lie consistently, but he doesn't want to be lied to. That's basically his bag.
Yeah, that sounds about right for Lauren.
But yeah, and someone asked about a dinner ring. Oh, Jeff W. Can anyone recommend a good dinner ring I can give a worthy female as a gift? Look, I'm not too across them, but one thing I do know is the bigger the better. So if that can take up 2 or 3 fingers, I think that's what you're going to want to go with. Would you agree?
Picture. Absolutely. My favorite picture is Lauren with the dinner ring, but they photoshopped like a headlight over it. So if you could get something like headlight sized,
go for that.
That really shows off your wealth. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm doing that or not.
Well, no, I mean, it's not wrong to want the person that you're talking to be who you're thinking that they are. There's nothing wrong with that. The first clue to you from talking to people online is that they may not be who they are. Amanda James wasn't who she was claiming to be. She has her reasons for that. And any other person that you were talking to from these chat rooms, they have their reasons for not being the people that they're saying that they are, if that's what was happening.
Why the hell do I still fucking... Why does it still bother me so much?
Because you don't have coping, as I said.
Bothers me so fucking much.
So fucking much. And you know, he's saying here why does it be like, because you're pathetic, like, because as Tiffany says, you've got no coping skills, and he doesn't, and
Yeah.
he just will put up with this because it's better than being alone.
Well, I would take that back. I don't know if there's a difference between coping skill and like coping mechanisms, but like he copes, it's just they're all very toxic ways of going about it, like smoking, all of his like addictions. To me, he comes off as somebody who eats his feelings, like in a lot of his calls. He's like eating something sweet, and even in his book, like it's all focused on food. And I think that's partially because it's all he has to talk about. But I also think that he like self-soothes with this fucking fluffernutter sandwiches.
Yeah, I do. I think you're right there. Like he does have, like you say, a lot of his he does have coping mechanisms, but they're not healthy. But and you know, which is probably why he drinks so much, why he smokes, all that kind of stuff. But so yeah, so it probably was incorrect to say he doesn't have coping mechanisms, but they're completely fucked.
Yeah, he doesn't have any healthy ones. I think
Yeah,
that's the
that is
qualifier.
that is well put. And someone in the chat before said that Blue Boy has just released a new video where it's a letter from his lawyer talking about Casey. So I'll cue that up because we'll have to watch that, I think.
Oh my god, yes.
You're not learning your lessons. You're not being honest about the lessons that are coming out of these experiences. You're not being honest about the reasons that these things are happening to you. You're making it other people because of them that this is happening. It's because I was rejected when I was in 8th grade. It's their problem. They made me feel like shit. So therefore, I don't have self-confidence.
Copium. Cybersqueak Lawn is on Copium.
Oh my god.
So now 40 years later, I'm still upset about that.
I know, isn't that fucked up?
It is.
But my brother Roy still mentions to this day how he used to pick me up and throw me when I was a kid. And I tell him, Roy, is almost 40 years ago. Get over it.
Sounds like Roy was the one who were throwing 6-foot logs. If he could just fucking pick up Lorne and chuck him.
Chuck him.
I don't even get over shit myself.
Well, there's an example.
But I might be taking it wrong there because I obviously don't know the tone or the context that Roy's saying that in. But like Lorne's all bent out of shape there, like he keeps reminding me that he used to pick me up and throw me in that. Like it sounds like Roy is talking about, you know, muck around times they had as a kid. Like it sounds like he's trying to reminisce about the way they got along. I mean, I could be wrong. Roy could be like, oh, you know, you piece of shit. I used to throw you around. I'm going to now. But from what I've heard of Roy, I don't think he's malicious like that.
Yeah, I agree. I think that Lorne probably took it as like a hit to his masculinity to have his older brother say that he, you know, could physically pick him up and throw him at some point. But it's like you're kids and he's older than you. Of course he'd be bigger than you at some point.
Yeah, like to me it just sounds like, you know, his brother's like, you know, trying to talk to him about the fun they had as kids. That Lorne could just be doing this because at the moment he's in pity party mode. And he wants, you know, to tell Debbie all this stuff so she go, oh my God, Lorne, you know, you're physically abused as a kid. That completely makes up for you trying to destroy my sister's life and sending pictures of your shit actually coming out of your asshole. So don't worry about it. Like, that could be what he's going for, but still.
Which I think is crazy because Debbie has never, ever been the type to give him anything. Even when he has, like, a legitimate reason to be, as like upset or whatever, she never gives him anything, let alone some bullshit. My brother used to throw me around. That's kind of stuff.
Exactly, and that's a great point, and that just shows how little, like, it's either how little he can read people or just the fact that he's got one move. He's got these excuses, he's going to use them on everyone. Like, the way that Emma would talk to him on calls, if he said this kind of stuff, he would get the response he was after. Like, she would be much more, especially when she's in the mode where she's trying to get him back on side and that, you know, much more, oh my God, Lorne, I can't believe that happened to you. But Debbie's just going to be like, I don't give a fuck, man. Like shut the fuck up.
Yeah. She's like, you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
I don't know how to get over it. How do I get past this shit?
You have to be honest about all of it. All of the ugly stuff you have to be honest about. You have to say, I'm weak. I'm weak when it comes to other people.
I am. I know I am.
Say it.
For me to allow this shit to happen, I've got to be.
Yeah. My life is not the result of other people's actions. It's the result of my own actions.
That's something that my therapist was helping me with those was seeing the red flags and how to get out of how to be able to say no. And when people
Oh
do
my
guilt
fucking
trips,
god.
I hate that.
Again, you're making it about other people. And those are the same types of things that Winnie would tell me about you. That you try this really shitty elementary reverse psychology on her as if she's not going to be able to figure that out.
What reverse psychology?
I mean, she would talk about how if she would even mention Dan or another man, that you would completely lose it. But it wasn't even that she would mention it. You would say things like, "Oh, you want to get off the phone because of Dan. You want to talk to Dan." That wasn't even something that she said. And regardless of how she was responding, basically what you were looking for is you were pushing her into answer, yes, I want to talk to Dan, so that you could be pissed off about it. So that would be that direction. And then the other direction would be, no, I want to talk to you so that you could feel better about yourself.
Controlling.
Yep. Oh, wow. He actually has some insight to his behaviour there. Like
Just a little bit.
I was pausing there to say, like, what Tiffany says there, I couldn't agree more with. Like, that is his two moves, because either way, no matter what he knows that it's going to get one or two reactions, but whatever it is, that is what he wants. So if he says, oh, well, you want to get off the phone so you can go fuck Dan, or so you can go fuck Rod and all that kind of stuff, either they're going to say, Lord, no, I only want to be with you, and that's going to, reassure him and kind of fulfill his ego. Or more likely, what will happen is that they will push back on that, and he'll get pissed off, because I honestly believe he likes being pissed off, both in the way that he feels like he can have something over them, like they need to make it up to him, but I think it's a form of, rage a hole for him. Like, he really enjoys that feeling of being mad and the blood pressure rising and that, which is crazy, and it's going to kill him one day. But
For sure. I totally agree that he really likes to be angry. I think Lorne, his life is so boring that being angry is like his only form of entertainment. Like,
yes.
if he's not angry, it's sheetrock or driving truck,
Yep.
So I agree, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think it's very interesting there that she's said that. I mean, she didn't say anything about control or anything. She just listed his behaviours, and his first response is controlling, because he is a very controlling person, as most abusers are. I mean, that's kind of one of the key characteristics of it, which he displays so many of those traits, and everything is controlling, which is why how scary it would be if he actually had a real life person. Even, like, I mean, obviously physically living with him, but even just an actual person that isn't catfishing him, like over a phone relationship, because it would just be constant either stalking physically or virtual stalking, because he can't not have control.
At least he's not very good at, internet sleuthing.
Yeah, exactly.
So if he wanted to stalk a real long-distance girlfriend, I don't think he'd be able to do it as effectively as if they were in person. But also, Lorne's not an abuser. He hasn't abused any of his catfish in like a week.
I am focusing on the past. So thank you for straightening me read out there.
Very
got your ass read out.
Controlling, and a very sad attempt at manipulation.
Yeah, I agree, because she pointed it out to me before, and I had to think about things that I was doing.
Okay, so there's a difference between thinking about them and then actually growing from them.
I know.
When are you going to get it together?
Probably.
You're going to have to get it together now. People aren't pointing
in about 15
this shit out to me directly so I can see it, like my therapist pointed it out to me. Emma points stuff out to me and I can see stuff. Now you
Okay,
point
but
other
then
things out to me that
where
Emma
does it
hasn't pointed out to
go?
me.
Where does it
Okay, guys. Hey Boo has to make some weak coffee, so we'll just hold up the stream for 5 minutes until he gets back.
I just saw that. I was gonna say the same thing.
So just chill out, everyone. We'll wait until Hey Boo's back.
go after they point it out to you? Does it float out into the air? Because it doesn't sound to me like there's been any kind of growth since the patterns with your relationship started.
How do I get it to sink in? How do I get it? How do I not do it again?
Write it down. Start writing.
Yeah, but I shouldn't have to write it down in order to remember it.
Writing things down helps a lot of people. Journaling is a huge practice that a lot of people use.
Yeah, 100%. And but Lorne thinks that's beneath him. Like lots of people, like I myself, do that. I'm sure most people do. Well, I'm not sure, but but it's a very common technique. But Lorne's like, oh, I shouldn't have to write it down. Like your memory fucking sucks, dude. Like you should be writing everything down. And
I think it's just an attempt at an excuse.
yeah.
It's a legitimate solution to his issue, and he wants to like worm his way out of actually helping himself.
I think you're right because I at the end of the day I don't think he wants to get any better. I for two reasons. I don't think he wants to make the effort. I think even Lorne realizes for him to improve himself, it would take a hell of a lot of effort because he has so many bad habits. He has so much work to do. But I think too, like he enjoys being a fuck up because whether they are fake girlfriends or whatever, it gets him attention. Like and to Lorne, there's no difference between good attention or bad attention. Like if people are cussing him out, if people are belittling him, that is still attention. That is still time they are spending on him. So I don't think he sees much difference between that or the attention of them, flattering him or saying, look, you've done such great work here, Lorne. Like this is great, keep it up. It's no different. So to him, why would I make the effort to get the good stuff when I can just be babied anyway and get that feel anyway?
I agree 100%. Yeah.
And he's a lazy motherfucker. And g'day Justin Newton. Thank you very much, and also fuck off upstairs to yourself. And g'day, thanks Anne. Like moths to a
He's the one who
flame.
taught you that.
And I do love that name. Thanks Anne. Like moths to a flame. They keep coming.
Because, as you're writing and you just kind of let things go, it uses a different part of your brain so that it stays in with your long-term memory. And it's not just a fleeting thought that you're having.
Oh,
and it doesn't matter how you do it.
Oh, really? G'day. Oh, really? And that's interesting. Eel Reeg says, this is where I differ from most. I think Lorne does truly deep down want to get better. It's just that he's so weak-willed, he'll exhaust zero effort to achieve that end. That is, that's it. I mean, I don't agree, obviously, because I just said the exact opposite. And if I remember, which I probably won't, we should have a bit of a chat about that on Taking Abroad Tuesdays tomorrow, because I do want to hear more about that. And g'day.
I actually don't.
Oh, so you go. No, you go.
Well, I was just going to say, I actually don't think that those are mutually exclusive, even though it sounds like they are. I think there is a part of him that wants to get better. However, I think that is like this tiniest little voice in the back of his brain. And he's like, that would take effort, so I don't want to do it. So he ultimately doesn't want to, but at the same time he does. Because humans are super contradictory. So I think that both of those can exist in his tiny little pea brain at the same time.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I think that's a good point as well. And I do love these kind of discussion points. I like the stuff around Lorne, which none of us can know for sure. It's all just because everyone's going to have a different opinion on it, and kind of makes it. I reckon
Berber.
I reckon we're due for another kind of stream where we have a few people on and kind of discuss different topics, because that last one we did, I think it was on Winnie's boyfriend/husband channel, was a lot of fun.
That was great.
So yeah, and maybe we'll do that, and we'll you can jump on, and some others if you guys are keen for that. But anyway,
You did cut out for a split second. That's why I interrupted you. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean
Oh no,
to.
that's all good. That's all good. Feel free to interrupt. G'day, one lucky bother guy, and viral effects, and Trash Panda, and Cornville Councillor, and Misfit 71. And you Super J. And you Super J says, I didn't get a chance to listen last night. Who should we blame for the After Party 11 vid being privated? That would be me. I have currently privated that video because I very stupidly accidentally broadcast some of my my desktop and my my Skype window and my Discord window and that. And while nothing, nothing negative was shown, I just think it looks really fucking shit and really unprofessional. So I'm going to trim that bit out and then unprivate it and put it up.
Corville, you don't need to lie. We all saw the coupon pictures.
Damn it! Thanks a lot, Evil.
I'm sorry.
G'day, Sean McClure and Omega Heber.
There's no should. I should be doing it this way, whether it's you're standing in front of a mirror, saying it to yourself repeatedly through affirmations or whatever, or you're writing it down, or typing it if you have a computer, something, whatever. It doesn't matter what it takes. The method is not what's important. The result is what's important.
Maybe you're right. Maybe writing it down would help more. I never thought about being able to stick in, to be grasp it, or if you write it down.
It's something to try. That's why they have the books, right, that you're working with in your class. It's in writing.
Yeah, but I've never had to go into detail about my past relationships with the book.
Yes, you fucking have. Like, that is one of the questions we have seen. Like, you have had to. You haven't, because you won't do what you're told to do, but you're meant to. And g'day, Darth
Right.
Crats.
What?
I think that the details of your past relationships aren't necessarily important. The little things.
I've had to do my sexual history. I've had to go into detail about that. But it's
Little things like his little baby bird.
Yeah, which that should have been a very small assignment, because it should have been my sexual history, masturbation. Like that's basically his sexual history. But he did make up a whole lot of bullshit to try to pad that out. And
He
g'day,
did.
Clover.
Padded out like 3 pages worth.
Yeah, with just like such weird, that's the other, the thing I love about the sexual history that he makes up is such weird details to it. It's like, oh, I can't remember her name, but I remember this and this, and their age, and what their favorite movie is. Like, no, you're just making shit up. Like, that's you're trying to tell people that you're having these kind of drunken one night stands. But he apparently, they apparently had a real big discussion about 3 times. Yeah, that's right. The three one night stands with the one person.
Or how he was like, we kissed every day for a month.
Like that in itself, like you're I'm not sure what age, but I think he's talking about his 30s and that there. Like, really? Like, with another adult woman, you kissed you did nothing else, you just kissed every day for a month. Like that, and everyone's different, so no judgment or whatever, that seems unlikely. Like, I'm sure something else happened, if that happened, you know what I mean?
That doesn't even constitute as like a sexual history.
No, that's kissing.
I guess kissing is the same as having sex to Lorne.
Well, yeah, phone sex is the same as having real sex to Lorne, so...
If he had seen Ramona kiss her 96-year-old Nana, he would have been like, you're fucking cheating on me!
He really would have. And, you say that, and you're like, that sounds crazy. But when, if someone didn't know Lorne, you'd be like, oh, okay, he's not like that. But he is. Like, if
Yeah.
someone's just stumbling across Lorne for the first time, this is really what he's like.
Well, he thought that Dan bringing a heart-shaped balloon to his best friend, or not his best friend, but like one of his close friends, that was cheating.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, and it was, I mean, and that call is really disgusting. Like, Casey has no one there really. Like, well, Dan was the only person that could visit, and that's the thing. Like, that's what I love about the scenarios they pitch up to him, because every scenario, like, it's like a a game of like, it's like a movie like Saw, but without the the gore and the murder and stuff. He's put in scenarios where he has the option to be a decent person. Like, not even be a good person. Like, just do what decent people. Like, decent people in that situation would be like, Dan, I can't be there obviously because I'm on probation. I can't leave the state. Thank you so much for going there. Thanks for getting her balloons. Hey mate, can I fix you up for those balloons? Something like that. Like, that would just be the decent thing. That's not even a good thing. But he can't. He does the exact opposite. He goes into a fucking tirade and makes the only person that can be there to comfort her after this surgery leave because he's jealous. He's
just a huge piece of shit.
He really
Oh,
is.
well. Also, Smokey the Cat, yes, that is a multi one night stand for 7 years.
These things that I do, I've never had to write that down. I think maybe that's not a bad idea.
What kind of man do you want to be?
I want to be an honest and good man.
What does that mean?
And I want to be caring. I want to do good things for people.
But what does that mean?
It means
Donate
that
to St.
I
Jude.
want to do things for other people. I like doing things for other people.
Why?
I don't know. It just
Well, no, don't say I don't know.
It makes me happy. It's always made me happy.
And isn't that what gets you into trouble?
Yeah.
It makes you
Way to
happy
do things.
because it makes you comfortable. It makes you happy because they're showing you something that you want to see, whether it's appreciation or, oh, wow, he's going to think I'm a good guy, or she's going to think I'm a good guy because I did this for them.
Yeah. Approval.
And Smokey, I hope you told your husband that just completely out of context, like, just with no context of what this whole conversation has been, and he's just like, what the actual fuck? You need to get away from these internet weirdos. And
These fucking cocksuckers.
fucking cocksuckers talking about Lorne all the time. G'day, Jerry Anthony, and Lorne's Burn Phone, and DBD Veggies. Yeah, peace, dude. Thanks for stopping by.
It's approval. It's approval addiction. It's a real thing.
It's a hard thing to change.
Just like with everything else, you have to acknowledge it and you have to be honest. You're making it as if you're looking out for other people and you want to make them happy, but you're really just looking out for yourself. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think that everyone is selfish in their own way. We do things because it makes us feel good. If we do things for someone else, it makes us feel good. We want to see other people happy and, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but how's it turning out to be such a bad thing for me?
Because you're taking it to the extreme.
Because it's
You're turning
transactional.
it into something bad.
Exactly. It's exactly bang on. It's transactional because he doesn't do it because he's not a selfless person whatsoever. So he tries to spin the line that he's a selfless person and he gets joy out of helping people with nothing wanting back, but he wants shit back. That's why he does stuff. I don't think he's ever done something in his life which is just like, hey, this is a nice thing to do for this person, and I hope they appreciate it, and if they don't, well, I'm fine with that as well.
No, like remember when he got the taxi whenever he was going from Tony's to his house, and after he tipped the driver, he was like, yeah, I'm sure he'll come through for me again because I tipped him well. Like that's his new friend or something. Or like tipping your taxi driver is such a good thing to do that they'll like return the favor when it's not just standard practice.
Yeah, well, that's right. Like he's just he's so, yeah, well, transactional, like you said, is the perfect word. And g'day, Alison Maria Armstrong. You are very late. So I hope you've got a note. And g'day KY and Witchert.
I don't know how to change it without it being something bad.
Well, it starts by recognizing that you're desperate. You're desperate for approval and you're weak.
Yeah, but why am I so desperate for approval? Nobody else is.
What do you mean no one else is?
No, it doesn't seem like anybody else is as desperate for approval as I am.
Well, I would say that through what I know about you, that it's pretty severe. But it doesn't matter what they are experiencing. You're never really going to know that. Some people think that they have an extremely low sense of self-worth, no matter what they project outwardly. So if you see like somebody like a celebrity, like the people who have committed suicide recently, you would look at their lives outwardly and be like, oh my God, they have everything. They have money, they have awesome careers, they have companies, they're making money, and then all of a sudden they're dead because it wasn't enough. But nobody knew that.
No, it's one of the reasons I can't understand why people make such a big deal out of money.
This issue isn't about money. That's not the point. The point is that whatever it is that you think makes a good life, if you are seeing that in someone else, you're just
I really hope that you bring back frosted tips within the community. Make it a trend again.
I'm trying to make it a movement. Everyone get frosted tips, and just we'll all rock up to the next 10 mile yard sale with frosted tips.
Hell
from
yeah.
the outside.
Well, what I was saying about the money thing, money is not a thing that should make people happy, and that was part of my problem because I had gotten used by my family and friends so much because of my money, and that's what made me sell my house for $8,000.
Does this have something to do with Betty? Because she keeps bringing up like Betty, and he's going to pay Betty back.
Yeah, that's one of the things to do with Betty. I still could pay Betty back, and it bothers me. Because I'd never meant for any of that stuff to happen.
Fucking bothers him.
Are we talking about a lot?
So fucking much.
What are we talking about?
Yeah, it was a good chunk of money.
Like 500, 1,000.
No, there's more like around 20,000.
Oh.
Yeah.
And when was this?
This was right before I moved to Nashville. That was my last straw.
You mean Memphis?
Because
When did he go to Memphis?
That's where he went for whenever he got caught in the sting. He was living in Memphis.
He was in Nashville, wasn't he?
I'm making a Kennedy reference.
Oh, God. Completely went over my head. But yes, I do remember from that stupid fucking stream she did with Joran. Yeah. Wow, I feel like a real 87 now.
Family, take that money from Betty?
They took it from me.
Oh, so you took it from Betty, and then they took it from you.
Yeah. But I got to pay Betty back because it's my responsibility.
Well, how did you take it from Betty?
I was doing a job for Betty.
And she paid you, and the job didn't happen.
Well, the job happened. It started happening.
But it wasn't done. Otherwise, you wouldn't owe her anything.
I couldn't get my workers to show up. And it just turned out to be the worst thing ever for me.
Okay, so once again, it's somebody else's problem.
I don't know. That was my responsibility because it was...
And that was the worst thing ever for him. Not getting caught on national television trying to fuck a kid, but ripping off, Betty for that job, apparently, which was apparently out of his control. Now, not that I'm saying that was good what he did there, but surely the worst thing is the sting. Surely.
Yeah, I would agree. Like, both of those are terrible things, but one of them is a bit more irredeemable than the other, I think.
Exactly. I mean, the other one, if you wanted to fix it, could be fixed through, payment plans or small claims court or something. The other one cannot be
Yeah.
fixed and will forever be an irredeemable stain on your reputation.
You can't unrape a kid, but you can pay money back.
That that should be on a poster.
It was my
I'm
business.
putting that on my Redbubble.
And I'm the one
Right.
that took on the responsibility. So it's my fault that I allowed all that to happen. That was the lowest point in my life so far, up to that moment. So I don't understand how I could have allowed myself to get in that position.
Because you're desperate
Yeah, but desperate for what?
for approval,
For approval, I know.
for other people, for acceptance.
G'day, Dinosaur Tornado.
Yeah.
And Sean McClure, no worries. And I have seen your email. I am just very slack at replying, so a reply will be forthcoming. And yeah, it'd be great. We'll work out a time to stream together. And g'day Gino 101.
Do you ever consider that you're desperate because you're lonely, and you're lonely because of how you treat other people, and make your happiness their responsibility?
No, I never thought about it like that.
So not only that, but then you throw alcohol on top of it, and you change into this other person who's pissed off and who's going to yell, who's completely
pissed right off.
unreasonable and disgusting.
What was that?
I just said I'm pissed read off.
You read off.
Yeah. No, I never used to be like that when I drank.
Okay, but we're talking about right now.
I know. Well, I'm just saying that because I'm trying to figure out could have changed.
Oh my god, Dinosaur Tornado,
Well,
did your
we're
other
kind of
channel
going
get
in a
taken
circle.
down?
What's this?
Dinosaur Tornado, did your To Catch a Professor channel get taken down?
Oh, is Dinosaur Tornado to catch a professor?
Yeah, he says, can I
Oh.
plug my channel? Oh wait, it's gone.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't want to, put you on the spot or anything, but because I did notice that was gone because I went back to watch another one of your videos and it was gone, and I just didn't make the connection that Dinosaur Tornado and To Catch Professor are one and the same. But is it coming back? Because I absolutely love those videos, like with
Yeah, those are some of my
seriously. So
favorites.
I really hope it's coming back, and if it does come back, let me know, and I will plug the shit out of it.
You need to
Cool
make your
here.
own version of the dump with like a Google Drive.
Yes.
And we did address this before, and we said that it's because you have a lot of anger, and the anger is directed at other people.
Yeah, but why do I have so much anger? Why can't I let go of it?
Because you're putting your happiness
It's gone.
into the hands of other
Deleted.
people, and you're making them responsible.
Deleted. This is the sound of someone who's finally innocent.
for it.
Fucking hell. Oh, I'm so pumped for July. Like,
Oh my god, same.
It's gonna be, because I wasn't really across all the door and stuff last July, so this is gonna be amazing.
Make me feel good. Tell me how
I
wonderful
need to make
I
some
am.
drawing art.
Yes, you do. Get to it, no.
Make me feel important. And when they don't do that, you're going to get pissed off and you're going to lash out.
That's a loser way to be.
Sure is.
Yeah. And you've been that loser your entire life. Stop being a loser.
I don't want to be a loser.
Then don't be.
Why does it sound like you actually care?
Oh, fuck
I care about my
off.
sister.
Well, I know.
Fuck up, Lauren.
Honestly, get fucked. What does it sound like you actually care? Like, she is telling you how much of a fucking asshole you are because unfortunately you're with her sister and she either wants you to fuck off or at least make it like a shot at being a decent human being for her sister. And he's like, what does it sound like? I mean, that's right up there with the, like we were joking about before, like, do you have a folder of me on your computer? Like, as if that would be
Yeah.
some kind of nice thing. It's just
He
amazing.
makes me so mad. He's such a neckbeard.
He really
And you're actually, you really don't even know me, and you're taking time out to point things out to me that Emma's pointed out some of them before. My therapist pointed out some of them. There's some of them that you're pointing out that neither one of them have even touched.
And what's the pattern there? The pattern there is that you don't learn shit.
I learned. I think maybe I need to take your
No, you
advice
don't
and write it
learn.
all down.
You don't learn. That's the problem.
Well, I'm not working tomorrow, so I think I'll take some time out to write it down and see what happens.
DBDX
on that one.
veggies, he does have
Be
his socks
honest.
on.
Oops, sorry, say that again.
I just said DBDX veggies, he does have his socks on.
And g'day to Bend Over. And Smokey the Cat. Are these the ones from that Mary Kate and whatever the Olsen twins movie that you're talking about that you picture a young Cornville looking like?
Oh my god. Oh, there it is on stream.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a delay there, and now I can't find where the thing is to turn that off. So, there we are. Anyway, back to the call.
Think about if you had a woman in your life that was there and you treated her that way.
I don't want to be like that either.
But you are. And it sounds like you have been for many years.
I don't want to be controlling and an asshole.
You know what that sounds like? That's like the classic abuser. I don't want to hit you, but you just make me so mad. I don't. Okay, don't take it literal. Don't take it literally. We'll put it into your context then.
And she knows exactly what he's going to do, like, because he's going to go, "Oh, you don't want to hit me. You must like me because you don't want to hit me." Because do you remember one of the calls where she, he was like driving or whatever, and she's like, "Oh, well, don't hit a guardrail," and he's like, "Oh, you must like me if you don't want me to die."
Right.
Fucking idiot.
No, see, if you want, like, never. I was gonna make a shitty joke, but like I can't talk right now, so let's just like forget that this happened.
Really? Oh well, if you regain the ability to talk, let's come back to your shitty joke. I like shitty jokes.
Okay, great.
I don't want to scream at you, but you just make me so mad. I didn't want to drive drunk, but I didn't want to see you walk home. I didn't want to drive to the house, but I'm also not going to admit that I did want to, and that's why I ended up there.
Now, the driving drunk, I really did think I was sober because I hadn't had to be here for hours.
Yeah, but you weren't. You weren't.
He's only a few sips over.
I weren't. Yeah, that's the fact of the matter is that I weren't.
I wasn't.
Yes, I was just thinking about that too.
Oh, you were not. You were not. You never think about how poor your grammar is.
No, I'm happy that you intervened.
And I'll continue to do that. Don't think that this changes anything.
I want you to continue to intervene. It's obvious you can help more than just winning.
Of course, put all of the labor on Debbie.
That's right. Like, you are not her fucking responsibility. Her sister is. Her drug-addicted, mentally unwell sister is her responsibility. Not, her sister's pedophilic fucking boyfriend. But now, Lorne, the adult, like, who would be, I don't know what Debbie's age was, but a good 20 years at least older than that. Now she's got to be responsible for this fucking loser as well in his mind. Right,
and taking care of Winnie is like a full-time job.
Absolutely. Like, that cannot be underestimated. And g'day, Camp Vogel.
It just gives me a better support group so they can help me figure out the things that I do wrong and that I don't see.
I think you see them. You're just not admitting it.
I see them when they're pointed out to me. Because it's criticism that I don't think about.
Well, to be honest, I mean, I'm not here to be your support system.
Oh, I know you know. Well, there must be something about you that gives a shit.
I care about my sister.
Boom.
And it frustrates the shit out of me that she's been involved with you. It pisses me off.
Debbie
I
would
can't
only
believe
care if
she
Lauren
had.
were a baby.
That's right. Or if or if he had blood coming out of his mouth and needed mouth to mouth, milk to milk.
Yeah.
To listen to your bullshit.
I can't believe it.
Which reminds me, I do need to do a stream on that call. I love that fucking call where they just.
It's a great one.
Oh my god! It's like who needs to, he's got a family that want him back. The family that he's homeless from. It's just so
Yeah.
amazing. And she points out how fucking stupid he sounds, and he's just like, well, yeah. Like, fucking
bullshit.
And it was all just this weird, like, virtue signaling bullshit. He just set that up so that she could say no and he could say yes and feel morally superior.
Absolutely. Bang on. He just wanted to basically somehow come out as the better person than Debbie, which is just crazy.
You should believe it. It's not shocking.
The pattern is shocking to me.
What am I going to see when I get these text messages?
What are you going to see?
Is it what I think I'm going to see?
What do you think you're going to see?
A lot of disgusting behavior.
I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. I don't remember everything that was said between us, and sometimes we were really sweet to each other. Sometimes we were upset with each other. If you know how to get to my voicemail, then I'll give you the password to my voicemail, and you can listen to.
Fuck, he loves giving out passwords like that. That is that is one of his favourite things, and it's so bizarre. But what I do like there is that he she's like, what am I going to find when I get these messages? And he knows it's going to be bad, but he doesn't want to say it on the phone because he doesn't want her to go off. So he's just buying time. Like, he knows eventually it's going to get to the point where she knows exactly how much of an asshole he's been, but he doesn't want it to be now.
I hope it's one of those voicemails. The last time I heard it, it was on a Lauren Identity stream. But he played a voicemail where Lauren was like, and I want to fuck you in the ass. Love you. And he just hung up.
And that only Lauren could leave messages like that. Like, could you imagine, like, if you had a friend or a boyfriend or a girlfriend or whatever, and you got a voicemail from them, and they're like, and I want to fuck you in the ass. Like, I don't think I would. You. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I don't. I just couldn't imagine that happening. And if anyone has a partner that does that, and you like it, then good. All the best there. But I think hearing that
I'm judging you harshly.
Yeah, I can feel the judgment. That's why I'm backtracking here. Like, no, that's all good. I'm glad that your partner tells you that. And g'day, Desir 3, and Zachary Slut Stanford, and April the Berserker, and Pedro the Great, and Pussy Destroyer, and Printer. A whole lot of people coming in there now. And Pussy Destroyer, I can't remember if I said that, and Kathy Mack. Kathy Mack doesn't see Hallmark making that card.
Oh my god.
11 messages that say.
Oh, and good on you. I missed you, and no worries. No worries for the stream. Thank you for being in the stream. And Dagmaster 12.
You're right.
No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to hear her cry or be upset or yell, because then I can't promise what I will say to you. I can't promise that.
And Desire, yes, we have been over this. I know I do apologise once again, like I apologised the last time. I would blame it on my 3-year memory buffer, but I don't want to compare myself to Lorne. So, yes, it is not Desir 3 like I constantly do as Desire. So, g'day, Desire.
It's going to be anything you want to hear.
I know.
Because I know that if she is crying or if she is yelling or if she's upset about something, her reasons are legit. It's just going to prove even more that I need to protect her.
I save him for a reason. So I listen to him. It makes me think more about how I treat her, and It makes me want to change and just unsure of how to do it.
Is that the reason why you keep them?
Yeah, he definitely
So you
wants
can hear her.
voicemails of Winnie going rah, 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 rah.
Meh. And this is and it is the Australian educational system desire. And this is what I hate, where it's like, well, I want to change in that. Like, I mean, okay, look, I understand changing behaviours like this would be hard, but out of all the people, like, I mean, it's not like something he couldn't do if he actually wanted to do it. And out of all the people, I mean, he has fucking court-appointed therapists that he doesn't have to pay for. Like, if other people were like him that, you know, had these abusive traits and they you know, got to a point where they realised how bad it was, they wanted to do better, they would have to do a lot of work. They would have to go and pay themselves to see a therapist, a counsellor, psychologist, whatever. Which they should do. That would be their responsibility. But he literally just has to engage with the therapist that he's already been given to try to work on this, and he won't. So to sit here and say, oh, I want to be better, I don't want to do that anymore, that's bullshit, and stop fucking saying it.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
And g'day, Lorne's unclimbable ladder.
Or cry?
Yes, so I can remind myself that I don't want to hear her crying. There's only two of them. That was where I broke up with her. She had surgery, and Dan was there with her, and she didn't understand why I broke up with her. And
Is that the call that we were talking about earlier? The one where she had like the skin graft?
I think it is. I'm pretty sure it is. And g'day, pizza driver, and Joey, and 180 degrees.
That said something that had to do with Dan. I don't remember what the situation was.
So it was like a jealous rage then.
And Printer, there are a lot of Australians in Australia. We probably have the most amount of Australians in the world here in Australia, oddly.
I don't know.
And that's
It might be
Yeah,
exactly-
that's kind of counterintuitive, don't you think?
So weird. There's so many Australians here.
I don't know.
Everywhere you
That's
look.
exactly
But there
the
are
shit
other,
that she can't be
There are
subjected to. She doesn't deserve it.
there are other ones where she's happy, and other.
Like when you're not abusing her. That says that when. Now, why don't we have a little break and watch a little bit of Aussie Man reviews, because he is starting to annoy me just a tad.
Just a tad.
Where are we? Here we are. So this is one of his reality versus expectations videos.
How you going? Today I'm picking at the low-hanging fruit that is expectations versus reality. We're going to take a look at the 1% of people in the world that have cool skills up against the 99%, which is you, me, and everyone we know. He got shit mixed. Over to the
Ow.
pool, 1 foot slippy slide, perfection. He's a 1%er. Let's see how the rest of us are doing. Yep, that's about right. Horsehead Bro loves it. He represents the masses, unfortunately. Henrik Harlot is digging the tunes. Hells yeah, Henrik. Let's show them how it's done, mate. He's coming up on the knuckle. Weird camera selection. Let's get a better angle. What the fuck? No.
Wow.
No. That is not how bloody physics works. I mean, evidently it is, but fuck me all night long. That was great. It is. He looks happy, and he should be. He's talented. Who do we have representing the rest of us? I don't know. Some wanker with zero training. Let's see how he goes. Nah. The problem is he's got no headphones. You can't bust out a fully sick flippy spinny without some banger vibes in your head holes. Basketball, another one of those activities I feel I'm always good at, even if I haven't practiced since I was 11. That looks easy. Okay, maybe he's so hard-working,
for
he
Lauren, I
makes
don't
it
see
look
him.
effortless.
Yeah, well,
The reality
he
of
must
me
be in
shooting
another game.
hoops is probably more like this. That was ugly. How do we deal with failure? We lose our temper and cause more pain. I love this bloke. He is a classic everyman. Ignore the looks from others. Ignore judgment. Oh, he's Techno Viking. This is how I
Techno Viking.
always imagine myself entering parties. Muscular, well-groomed, an entourage following me, excited to be in my presence and eager for my validation, which I don't give out easily. Just cool. Super duper fucking cool. Hard cut to reality. 99 times out of 100, this is me. This is you. It's everyone we know. Dancing in a shitty-ass house, trying too hard to create an atmosphere. We ruin the atmosphere. Oh! Off to the emergency room he goes. How's your broken coccyx? Sometimes I think about getting a dog. I daydream about it, going to the fridge, opening it, and fetching me a nice cold tinny. This is heaven, right here. Well done. He even goes back to shut the door. Wowee. Back to reality city, I'd be like, yeah, get the beer. It's already on the table for you. Don't shake it too much. Here, bring it here to the recliner. Come on, let go. This isn't a game. It's not fetch. Put it in me fucking... God, a carpet! This is how I imagine myself serving champagne whenever I buy champagne, which is about once every 5 to 10 years. Looking cute, ready for a fun time, giving everyone generous portions. Hard cut to reality. How do you do this? Pop, bang, fuck. This is the look of a man who has learnt his limits. He will never buy champagne again. There is nothing more satisfying on this planet than nailing a speed start in Mario Kart. The problem for us common folk is that we hold the accelerator too early, we smoke up the road, we fail to reset, and butcher it. Overall, expectations are about management, and reality could be subjective. I don't know what that means, but I intend to keep comparing myself to Techno Viking when I enter a party. Yeah, whatever gets you through the day. Whatever gets you through the day. Take a look at Aussie Man's shop.
Lovely. I always enjoy those. G'day to Matt Ryan that came in during that, and Gorilla Spawn. And have you had a few issues with fire there, Gorilla Spawn? I hope everything's okay and everyone's safe. And Smokey the Cat, yeah, so he did say tinny. So tinny is what Aussies call like canned beer. Like if you have beer from a can, it's a tinny. So yeah, I don't know why we do what we do.
Yeah, I would hope that the dog isn't bringing titties over.
Definitely not. You definitely don't want your dog doing that. All right, back into it, eh?
Ones where she says stuff to me that is negative stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of, I save them so I can listen to them, so that I don't know, figure some way to do better. Start trying to figure all this stuff out, how to do better and how to fix myself.
It does suck being an asshole. And g'day, Chris Bromelo. And that's essentially what he's saying, isn't it? Like, and bullshit that he's going back to. I mean, I think he goes back and listens to them, but it's either in a creepy way, or he's keeping it as, evidence that, she gives me shit too, so all the abuse I give her is justified.
100%. I think it's that, and I also think that he is such a rageaholic that sometimes he'll go back and listen to them just to piss himself off, to have something to feel.
Completely agree with that as well. And g'day, Dr. Cassandra, mate.
When I see the pattern.
You don't see it, that's the thing. You don't see it. You don't see it. You don't see it.
Well, I see it when it's pointed out, and I don't want to forget it.
How many times does it need to be pointed out to you?
But I try to figure it out, too. I try to understand, like when my family used me, is what did I really do to deserve to be used like that?
Oh,
I think that's what makes me the most mad, the most upset. And
there's an obvious answer to that. What does somebody do to deserve to be used? And the answer is nothing. And you already know that.
What allow it to happen, though? When everybody says they're trying to be such a good person, all this shit, and then they turn around and do that to someone else.
Look at yourself and stop looking at
Thank you, everyone.
You can say you know, but you don't. Because that's not what you do. It doesn't matter what other people do.
The one part that I don't know and that I don't understand is because it was my family that did it. my siblings. And that's what I don't understand. I mean, this is these are some people that I idolized ever since I was a kid. I mean, since I was a little kid.
Okay, so
He's always loved kids, even when he was a kid. And g'day, Ari.
your question is trying to see what you did to deserve that?
Yeah.
Nothing. That's what I said, nothing. I can point out things in my own life where people haven't treated me well. What did I do to deserve that? Nothing. What does a kid do to deserve to be treated badly? Nothing.
Yeah, but how can somebody with good knowledge that your youngest brother has idolized you for years and years and years, how can they turn around and use you so fucking badly?
You're asking questions that can't be answered. That's something that your brother would have to answer. And that's something for you to move on from.
Because some brothers are assholes. But that is on Lorne. Like to say, oh, well, so you idolise them, whether you did or not, I don't really give a shit. But if that is the case and they didn't reciprocate that or they didn't act the way you want, well, that's your fault. So you idolise them, they don't live up to your expectations, stop fucking idolising them. Like they've got no responsibility back to you just because you want to idolise them, and whatever that means in Lorne's little mind about idolisation of something, they didn't ask for that.
Right?
And it's got nothing to do, and on top of that, all this has nothing to do with the crimes he's committed, the disgusting acts he's committed, or even the conversation they're currently having. Nothing to do with it. And g'day, Joey.
He just is trying desperately to find some way to get sympathy or to get an excuse for his behavior from Debbie, and she just never gives it to him.
Mm-hmm. And it's
But
glorious.
I will say that I do believe him when he says that he idolized his siblings, because when you have as many kids as Gwen did, you're going to end up with older kids having to play like mom and dad, because there's just too many kids for like a single mother or even a two-parent household to watch all the time. You're gonna have the older siblings kind of fill in, and that can be problematic in and of itself. But that I do believe Warren when he says that he idolized his brothers.
Yeah. No, fair. That's fair. And g'day, Drew B and Asbury Brad.
I understand that it made you feel badly. I think anybody would. Like I said before, everyone's been taken advantage of. Everyone's had to have a sense of rejection. We've been hurt by people before. It happens all the time. We can't control that. But what we can control is when there's behaviors within ourselves that are repeated. And it's causing us our own pain, and we're creating this really negative life, and negative relationships and things that are really unhealthy. There are people who could be walking around saying the very same thing about you. Betty is the perfect example.
Yeah, I know.
What did she do to deserve what you did to her?
I know. I think about Betty a lot.
As you should.
But just thinking about her a lot doesn't get her paid.
No, it
That's
doesn't.
right.
I'm sure she thinks about you a lot too.
No,
Only
I can
good things, I'm
imagine.
sure. G'day, William Fetters.
She's got every right to.
Mhm.
It happened.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
One year I spent $700 on my
Oh,
sister
God.
for Christmas, for a Christmas present, because she wanted. I brought the guys in that I had working on for me and spent $700 on her house because she wanted to do her living room over differently. So it's a Christmas present. If you want to give me a Christmas present back, give me macaroni and cheese. Make me macaroni and cheese that she makes. And
Okay, this
that
right here.
same year, I did
This
the same.
pisses me off so much because even in his own retelling of the story, it's if you want to give me a Christmas present. So Lorne gave them an out and he's pissed off that they didn't give him something. He didn't tell them, "Give me this." He said, "If you want to." If you're going to be like passive like about the whole thing and not outright state what you want, you can't get mad at people for not understanding like the subtext behind that. I hate that kind of stuff. It pisses me off so much.
Absolutely, and I completely agree. Like that's it, and he phrases it that way. Like he says that I said don't worry about giving me anything back. Well, then that's on you. Like it's a fucking asshole.
Thing for my brother Ralph. I spent $700 in, brought the guys that were working for me up to his house, put insulation around the skirt English trailer that they were living in, and told them it was a Christmas present. If you're going to give me a Christmas present back, have your wife make some deviled eggs that she makes. And my brother Paul, I spent $425 on him, gave him that money to get heating oil. And I told him it's a Christmas present.
I just hear the weird
If you wanna
version
give me
song
a
right now.
Christmas present back.
Yeah, I might cue that up and play it because you've said that, and also Smokey the Cat has demanded that I play it. So I'll track it down.
You and your wife can make me some of the meatballs that you make. I never saw the deviled eggs, and I never saw the meatballs, and I never saw the macaroni and cheese until the following
So
year.
funny now.
Came down with a pot of macaroni and cheese.
I never saw the deviled eggs.
And
I never saw.
asked
the
me for
meatballs.
$500 so she could get her Christmas present.
I never saw.
And because of the
Macaroni
kids, I
cheese.
gave her $500. I
So
told her to do the
catchy.
same thing, give me macaroni and cheese
Right.
back for a Christmas present. And I never saw the macaroni and cheese.
Okay, so they didn't want to give you a Christmas present.
Yeah, this is
How
This
much
is
you want to
the-
bet he did get Christmas presents from them, but it just wasn't that food?
For sure. Like, but that doesn't fit the story, does it?
Right. They gave him the stock
they
he
didn't care
wears
enough
around
to
because he never buys them like throughout the year, but he's still pissed off about the fucking deviled eggs.
Yep.
do a small thing for me for Christmas. So it's more the thought of it. It's disgusting.
No. They didn't want to give you a present. Why is that disgusting?
Yeah. It's disgusting because I did so much for them that they couldn't
You did it
show
for
me
them.
enough.
You did it for them
Yeah.
in order to get something.
It's disgusting that they didn't have enough gratitude.
You did it
Yes.
for them in order to get something.
Well, no, I want to get deviled eggs, macaroni and cheese, and meatballs.
What that represents,
Meatballs.
it's not the
Yeah.
actual physical thing, but
Make
what it
them happy.
represents. You wanted to make them happy so that it made
Yeah.
you happy and so that you would feel important that they would give you something in return.
Yeah, you're right. Didn't want to make me happy.
In your head, you thought you were entitled to that. And it became their responsibility to make you feel happy, to make you feel important, and that you have self-worth. And just because they didn't give you anything back doesn't mean that you're worthless. It just means
Yeah,
they
that's
didn't
what
give
you-
you anything back.
That's the way it made me feel, though.
Right. Because the way that you feel is based on what other people say and do.
All right, here we go.
Hello, everyone. I told everybody that I would tell them about my past, tell you all about my past. I will give you an example of the 5 years before I got involved in this thing. This example is one of the things that had happened to me that made it so I couldn't think straight. One of my siblings needed some work done on the house, so I took my crew up to my sibling's house. Did $700 worth of work on their house, and I told them it's a Christmas present. If they want to give me a Christmas present back, make me some macaroni and cheese. Macaroni and cheese. Make me some macaroni and cheese. never saw the macaroni and cheese. So, and another sibling needed some work done on the house.
Again?
So I took my crew up to my sibling's house. Did $700 worth of work on their house.
Again?
I told them it's a Christmas present. If they want to give me a Christmas present back, they can make me some deviled eggs, macaroni and cheese, deviled eggs and macaroni and cheese. And I never saw the macaroni and cheese and deviled eggs. And another sibling, I gave $425 for macaroni and cheese, for heating oil for their house. And I told them it's a Christmas present. If they want to give me a Christmas present back, make me some of their homemade meatballs, macaroni and cheese, meatballs, deviled eggs, and macaroni and cheese. I never saw the macaroni and cheese, deviled eggs, and meatballs. I never saw the meatballs. I never saw the deviled eggs.
Everyone.
And I never saw the macaroni and cheese. That's why Betty's job went the way it did. I never saw the meatballs. I never saw the deviled eggs. And I never saw the macaroni and cheese. That's why Betty's job went the way it did. Macaroni and cheese, meatballs, deviled eggs, and macaroni and cheese. Whatever, I don't want the macaroni and cheese now anyway. Meatballs and deviled eggs. Meatballs and deviled eggs. Meatballs and deviled eggs. That there is an example of 5 years worth of treatment. Everybody, I never saw the meatballs. I never saw the deviled eggs. Everybody, and I never saw the macaroni and cheese. That's why Betty's job went the way it did. Until the following year, my sibling came down with a pot of macaroni and cheese and asked me to borrow $500 so they could get macaroni and cheese for the kids. So they could get Christmas presents for the kids. So I gave them 500 macaroni and cheese. $500 so that way the kids could get Christmas presents. And I told her the same thing. Just make me another thing of macaroni and cheese. And to this day, I've never seen the macaroni and cheese.
Perfect. And g'day to a few people that came in during that. So to Kingpin and who else? We got Rimo K, VA Hoss, and yeah, sorry if I'm generic internet mail and Page Master. Sorry if I missed anyone there. Awesome. So we'll get back into the call just while and Kevin Murphy, just while I get to there. So I've just done something. So I know a lot of people have, mentioned that they enjoy the intro and outro music I do on the streams and have, asked for my playlist and that kind of thing. So what I've done is I've put together a YouTube playlist that currently has every song I've ever done on a stream, intro and outro, also some of my other favorite music that will be on future streams. And what I'll do is I'll just keep adding that. So when I do an intro and an outro, I'll just put it into that. So if anyone, I've just made that public now. So it's just on my channel. So if anyone wants to listen to that, feel free. And g'day, Pam Simpson.
And once again, you're giving them all of that power.
I would have been better
Winnie's
off.
boyfriend / husband, you're so fucking mean.
He really is. He's such a fucking salty little bitch. G'day, Dan's Jeans. And
Hi,
all
Dan's
the way
Jeans.
absurd.
Giving that money to charity
Why?
would have went towards something good.
Why doesn't helping your brothers and sisters help do something good?
Well, it does, but
It's because you didn't get what you wanted from it.
yeah, you're right. You're right. That royally fucking sucks that to be like that.
Yeah, it does. I think that everyone is selfish. You know, we do things for our own reasons, but to be on that level, to do something specifically for the fact of getting something in return from those people and having it over them that they owe you anything, to have that power, that's the disgusting thing. That you didn't do it out of the kindness of your heart. You did it so that they owed you something and that they would make you feel important if they gave it back to you.
It's not that I wanted them to owe me something. I think I just wanted to know that they loved me.
That's what those things represented.
But their actions before didn't show me that, and that I don't know. I did.
The deviled
for the
egg
wrong
platter,
reasons.
like all of the little eggs were lined up to
Once
spell out I
again,
love
just
you,
like
Lauren.
with the
What was that?
I said that the platters of like the deviled eggs were all like lined up to spell out I love you, Lauren.
everyone else, they're not responsible for how you feel.
That's true.
I know that everything I've said to you is just going to be lost.
How do you know that?
It's like bouncing off a rubber wall.
You don't sound so sure.
I love you.
Well,
too,
people
Smokey.
have been
Have a
trying
good
to tell
night.
you stuff for a very long time.
Yeah, I'm gonna try something different tomorrow, though. I'm gonna try taking your advice and writing it down, see if that helps. I've never tried that before.
Okay. And what are you going to do about drinking?
No, I'm quitting.
You're quitting or you quit?
I already quit. I haven't had any beer since the other day.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
I quit. I haven't had anything since yesterday. Well, that's quitting, right? You know.
Yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday was probably like 6 hours ago.
Since the start of this call.
Yeah, they're just talking really
But I
early in the
didn't have
morning.
that many to drink yesterday. I had like 3.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Because what you said to me yesterday was that you had none.
I know.
Yeah.
By the time I talked to you, there was nothing in my system. It was hours before that I had the 3.
Oh, no worries,
That
Smokey
doesn't-
the cat. Sleep well. Sorry.
I was just saying that doesn't matter that it was out of your system by the time you talked to her. You still lied and said that you didn't drink the day before.
Exactly. And g'day, Sheffrey.
It doesn't matter. It's the fact
know.
that you
I
lied
know.
and you tried to make me like I was the bad guy.
And
And
I'm
I'm
being
sorry for
honest
that.
about it.
Lie my
Still
ass off
wasn't
and
sure
be
how to-
honest about it.
Well, I still couldn't understand because of your voice being so familiar. See, I know you don't know a lot about the things that have happened on the internet with the whole Church of God crap.
She
But
knows more than you think.
Uh-huh.
It's made me
G'day,
cautious
Jeff
of people.
Horbachuck.
Well, I don't know what Church of God is or whatever. I just know, I know who you
Some
are.
gay ass thing all about me.
I know what you did. When I looked up your name on YouTube, it was like it wasn't your channel that was popping up. It was a lot of other people's channels and a lot of things that they're talking about.
Oh, I know. I know all about
About-
all the crap that's on there. I don't pay attention to it because to me those people just have nothing better to
Lauren's
do.
unclimbable ladder, there were no exits on the Autobahn. They weren't able to get the Lawrence trailer.
that goddamn Autobahn.
Go on other people, so they've got their own problems.
Okay.
But there are some decent people on there. That's where I met Emma. That's how I met. Well, actually, how I met Emma was because Emma had sent me a package in the mail, and that was when I had first gotten out of incarceration, and I was feeling pretty low, and she sent me that package and of stuff, and told me she wanted to be a friend, and I could call her back if I wanted to, or email her. She put her number on there, and so I wound up calling her back, and her and I became friends, and I didn't know that there was an ulterior motive.
Did the connection
And
just falter,
I
or
had
like were you muted?
Oh, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. I just like that's why the last time that we like streamed together, I didn't say anything because I thought it was just on my end,
Oh,
like you were cutting out. So I can't really tell if it's like my connection or if you're on mute.
no, I mean, I often am on mute, so that's a fair assumption, but not this time, so I don't know what happened there.
Okay, it's just me then. Fucking internet.
Fucking internet.
I had gotten a few letters in the mail from people from Korea and Czechoslovakia and the United States,
Italy.
but I didn't understand what any of it was about. Emma explained to me all about this Church of God crap, and she made it sound like people wanted to have something to do with me, and she had an ulterior motive at the time, but then she wound up getting to know me, and things have turned around after that. There's been a lot of the whole Ramona thing was a thing just so they could record me and put me on the internet. With me getting mad, anything and everything, times when I'd act sweet, times when I'd act mad, anything and everything that they could find or that they could get to put on the internet. I wish they'd just forget me. So obviously that's not going to happen. I haven't been on that thing for over a year. My YouTube channel, the subscribers on my YouTube channel is still growing. I was like, why? All it is the same old shit. None of it makes
You're right.
Because we fucking hate you, Lorne. Like that is, you don't have to dig any deeper. Like, you're the dickhead that put that shit up there, and it's enjoyable to hate on you. That's pretty much the reason. And g'day to Turtlehead 2.
sense to me.
And Dr. Dan Dononymous PH Dink.
Well, I think I can kind of tell you why.
Turtlehead
From my
two,
perspective. Well, I think what's interesting is that I had watched the show the first time around. I remember when it was coming out. And there's something about watching someone get caught red-handed. There's something about that. And what more can you have than someone who is exposing themselves to a child and attempting to commit a crime against a child?
Do bad things.
Do bad things, yeah. Committing a crime against a child.
Yeah.
And so, it's kind of like, oh my gosh, this is crazy that this is happening. I can't believe that there are people who are going to go and do this. And a lot of the people that you would see on the show, you would never imagine, because obviously we don't know them in their personal lives. But there's a lot of people who are very unassuming. You would never know what they're up to. And it kind of raises the question, well, how is it possible that, you can have someone in your life that can have a second life going on as well? That's what everyone was doing. It was all a second life. It was all done in secret. And a child is always going to be a victim. I mean, because that's why we have things in the law that are to protect them. That even if a child is agreeing and saying, yes, I want to have sex, according to the law, they don't have the ability to be able to say yes. So it's always going to be wrong. And it was fascinating to watch. Well, hang on just a second. It was fascinating to watch that, you would have kind of different types of people. And I think the reason why you stand out is because of how deep your conversation went with her. You know,
And g'day, Weird Versions. We just played your mac and cheese song before. Thank you again for that. And it is amazing stream art, which was done by the amazing Evil Little McNuggets, who is on with me tonight. And
Making me blush.
Debbie, I'm shy. And Dinosaur Tornado, about your Australian students saying that the difference between Australian and New Zealand accent is that just if you're from NZ you pronounce it New Zealand. So like I hear a lot of people say there's no difference. Like to me, I hear a massive difference between the Australian and the New Zealand accent, but that is the big difference. They put U's into everything, so like fush and chups, so I's become U's and A's become U's and stuff as well, but I think there's a big difference. But it's funny, I see so many people on here say there's no difference between it.
there's plenty of guys where it was
It's
just
like the
like,
distinction between different Southern accents. Like I'm from the South, y'all, but like you have
what is,
you have
I didn't know
different-
Kennedy was on here.
Yeah.
Are you,
You have,
also
like,
small
different-
and pregnant?
I'm 18 months along. Thank you for asking. But like there's you have like your New Orleans, like Louisiana kind of accents, and then you have like your Texas accents, and like between the two states or whatever you can hear a distinct difference, but anybody else is just gonna be like, they don't fucking sound like Hicks.
Yeah. No, and look, that is a good point. Like, it would be the same between the difference in, the states throughout America. Whereas I think if you're here, you hear a big difference, but probably, between obviously I can clearly hear the difference between like a Southern accent or a Boston accent and that kind of stuff. But to my ears, a lot of the other ones, I can't hear a great deal of difference. So but being Australian, if I hear a Kiwi, I'm like, yeah, you sound very different to me.
I mean, there's people that can't tell the difference between like Australian and British accents. And by some people, I mean me sometimes, not all the time.
Well, I can kind of see because like the English accent is that, it's very different between, like if you're in the north part of the UK, like you're very different to someone that's like, and then you get ones that like the closer you get to like Welsh and that, like you just can't understand them. Like they could be saying anything really. And g'day to Disturbing the Pieces.
we're going to talk about sex and I'm going to come and see you. Very short, to the point. It was very clear what they were looking for. It was very obvious. They show up and boom, there you have it. And then I think what made it interesting for you is that you had a very long conversation with this person. You're talking about getting married, how she is your girlfriend. It kind of is, it's shocking. It's just like, what does that even
Jeff
mean?
W.
Oh my gosh.
What did he
I was
say?
pretty lost at the time.
He said Weird Versions is an absolute genius at musical interpretation. Evil Little McNuggets is an absolute visual genius. I say we have a full house here. Too bad C3W doesn't have any talent.
It is a real shame that I don't have any talent. Oh no, what happened? Thanks, Jeff W. You ruined the call. Everyone blame Jeff W. Everyone point and laugh at Jeff W.
Helping your brothers and sisters.
Right, geez.
I feel
think
important
You
You
if
know,
they
Jeff
gave it back
W.,
to
I
you.
was thinking about sending you my left golden shoe, but not anymore.
Oh, you've done it now. Don't insult Cornville Freeway. She'll come for you.
It's not that I wanted them to owe me something. I think I just wanted to know that they loved me.
That's what those things represented.
But their actions before didn't show me that, and that I don't know. I did the things for the wrong reasons.
Once again, just like with everyone else, they're not responsible for how you feel.
And that's true.
I know that everything I've said to you is just going to be lost.
How do you know that?
It's like bouncing off a rubber wall.
You don't sound so sure.
Well, people have been trying to tell you stuff for a very long time.
Yeah, I'm gonna try something different tomorrow, though. I'm gonna try taking your advice and writing it down, see if that helps. I've never tried that before.
Okay. And what are you going to do about drinking?
I'm quitting.
Quitting.
You're quitting or you quit?
I'm quitting.
I already quit. I haven't had any beer since the other day.
He's holding a
Yesterday.
Bud Light as they talk.
Yes, yesterday.
You hear him cracking one open. I'm quitting. I'll straight right after this one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I didn't have that many to drink yesterday. I had like 3.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Because what you said to me yesterday was that you had none.
I know.
Yeah.
By the time I talked to you, there was nothing in my system. It was hours before that I had the 3.
It doesn't matter. It's the fact
know.
that you
I
lied
know.
and you tried to make me like I was the bad guy.
And I'm sorry for that. I still wasn't sure how to, well, I still couldn't understand because of your voice being so familiar. See, I know you don't
Jeff
know a
W.
lot
does sound
about
like something
the
that
things
Whitney's
that have happened
boyfriend
on
slash
the
husband
internet.
would put you up to.
Yeah, but he does do that a lot. I hear that he just goes through the community trying to put people up to hating on me. So I don't blame you, Jeff. I blame Winnie's boyfriend slash husband.
With the whole Church of God crap.
He's just jealous because he
But
can't frost his tips because his hair's too white.
It's made me cautious of people.
Well, I don't know what Church of God is or whatever. I just know, I know who
Some
you are.
gay ass thing all about me.
I know what you did. When I looked up your name on YouTube, it was like, it wasn't your channel that was popping up. It was a lot of other people's channels and a lot of things that they're talking about.
Oh, I know. I know all about all the crap that's on there. I don't pay attention to it because to me
Have a
those
good one,
people
Tony
just have
Farmer.
nothing better to do
Or
than
Ghost of Tony Farmer.
pick on other people, so they've got
Yes.
their own
See you, Ghost Tony Farm. Have a good one, mate.
problems.
Okay.
But
Okay,
there
Becca.
are some decent people on there.
And Coach Mike.
That's where I met Emma. That's how I met. Well, actually, how I met Emma was
And Julia
because
Weingartner.
Emma had sent me a package in the mail.
Yeah, Dan's jeans. Jeff
That was
W's
one-
just a
that was-
sock account from Wabish.
We're through the looking glass now. That is exactly what's going on here.
He got you all figured out.
And g'day, Z-Cat. He'll slip up one day. He'll be sweeping between all these sock accounts, and he'll post the wrong thing from it, and it'll all be exposed. And I have the Google Doc ready to go. The Google Drive, sorry.
Do you have recordings of his
First
calls
guy-
with Wes?
I do. I've got recordings of the few takes they've done on the apology call. They're all ready to go, and well, we weren't going to announce it yet, but you and I have just finished doing the chat log reading between Wes and Winnie's boyfriend slash husband, so
That's
that'll
true.
be ready to go. Just biding our time. So be scared, Winnie's boyfriend slash husband. Be scared.
Gotten out of incarceration, and I was feeling pretty low, and she sent me that package and of stuff, and told me she wanted to be a friend, and I could call her back if I wanted to, or email her. She put her number on there, and so I wound up calling her back, and her and I became friends, and I didn't know that there was an ulterior motive, and I had gotten a few letters in the mail from people from
Generic
Korea
internet
and-
mail. If you rearrange the letters in WB/H, it spells pedophile.
Whoa.
I know.
We have cracked the case.
It's a big
Czechoslovakia.
conspiracy.
and the United States, but I didn't understand what any of it was about. Emma explained to me all about this Church of God crap, and she made it sound like people wanted to have something to do with me, and she had an ulterior motive at the time, but then she wound up getting to know me, and things have turned around after that. But there's been a lot of the whole Ramona thing was a thing just so they could record me and put me on the internet. me getting mad, anything and everything. Times when I'd act sweet, times when I'd act mad, anything and everything that they could find or that they could get to put on the internet. I wish they'd just forget me. So obviously that's not going to happen. I haven't been on that thing for over a year. My YouTube channel, the subscribers on my YouTube channel is still growing. I was like, why? All it is the same old shit.
It sounds like whenever he was told, "Stop crying." Why? Why?
Why? She's the woman I love. And we did end up going back a bit.
Well, I think I can kind of tell
We
you
did.
why.
I'm gonna have to shut up soon because we've been
From
going
my
for a while
perspective.
and there's still a bit of call left. I'm sorry.
No, that's all good. Talk away. Talk away.
Dev.
It's all Winnie's boyfriend slash husband fault.
Well,
anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
I think what's interesting is that
he gets
I had
paid
watched the
$100,000
show.
for every soccer account he creates.
He must be fucking loaded then.
the first time around, I remember when it was coming out. And there's something about watching someone get caught red-handed.
It's pretty good.
There's something about that. And what more can you have than someone who is exposing themselves to a child and attempting to commit a crime against a child?
Do bad things.
Do bad things.
Yes.
Yeah. Committing a crime against a
Say
child.
some really dumb
And
things
so-
about some really dumb things.
It's kind of like, oh my gosh, this is crazy that this is happening. I can't believe that there are people who are going to go and do this. And a lot of the people that you would see on the show, you would never imagine, because obviously we don't know them in their personal lives. But there's a lot of people who are very unassuming. You would never know what they're up to. And it kind of raises the
Chris
question,
Bromolo,
how
yes,
is
he
it
thought
possible?
that he had like almost $1 million waiting for him because he thought that he would get $1 per one view.
That is amazing. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
I'd love
he
to
thought
know
he had a big fortune.
how much he has, but it wouldn't be much. But I mean, he would not confirm that. He'd just be like assume that. So he just thinks he's got this gold mine sitting there for whenever he can get on there and somehow grab it all out.
Right.
And g'day, Honest. Great to see you.
That
Hi, Honest.
you can have someone in your
I'm
life
just being honest.
that can have a second life going on as well. That's what everyone was doing. It was all a second life. It was all done in secret. And a child is always going to be a victim. I mean, because that's why we have things in the law that are to protect them. That even if a child is agreeing and saying, yes, I want to have sex, according to the law, they don't have the ability to be able to say yes. So it's always going to be wrong. And it was fascinating to watch. Well, hang on just a second. It was fascinating to watch that, you would have kind of different types of people. And I think the reason why you stand out is because of how deep your conversation went with her. There's plenty of guys where it was just like, we're going to talk about sex and I'm going to come and see you. Very short, to the point. It was very clear what they were looking for. It was very obvious. They show up and boom, there you have it. And then I think what made it interesting for you is that you had a very long conversation with this person. You're talking about getting married, how she is your girlfriend.
She was 13. I mentioned when she was 18.
Kind of it's shocking. It's just like, what does that even mean?
That is so. I just love that whole thing so much, and especially because like the way he said it then is exactly the way he says it. Like like a little kid getting in trouble from his parents. Didn't want to get in trouble.
Oh my gosh!
And g'day, that damn doctor.
Also, yes, that is an unclimbable ladder.
What's this?
Oh, Lauren's unclimbable ladder asked about the ladder in the picture.
I know. I was pretty lost at the time.
You can call it lost. A lot of people would call it you were attracted to a child.
And just Kathy Mack in the chat asked, how many of you think that if by some freak of economics, Lorne did have hundreds of $1,000s waiting for him, do you think he would pay Betty back? Keen to see what everyone in the chat thinks and what you think. I think absolutely not. Like, because he would just fucking piss that money away somehow. But B, like, he considers her paid back. Like, as he said, like, basically she got $30,000 worth of entertainment from laughing at me or whatever the fuck he said. So he definitely wouldn't. He believes that she's being paid back in entertainment, but also now that the community paid her back, he thinks that debt is null and void, which is complete bullshit. How about, what do you think? Oh, g'day, Anna Mango. Can you hear me? Oh no. Can you guys still hear me?
Okay.
No? Yes?
No, it was me.
Oh yes, sweet.
It cut out for a second. Did you finish what you were saying?
Yes, and I just said,
Okay.
what did you think?
So I think it depends on a few things. I think if he has a catfish right now, yes, he would pay it back partially, because I think that catfish would hound him to do it. But I think it would take a lot of effort, and he would not get even near paying her back fully. I think Betty might get maybe $2,000 tops, and that's if he had like $100,000 and he had a catfish like constantly bringing it up. But on his own, absolutely not.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And g'day, Aaron E. and Anna Mango.
I know a lot of people would call it that, but I know that's not what the whole thing was about. It was the attention.
Kevin Murphy, he would.
Somebody was giving me attention.
Kevin Murphy said he would buy 100K worth of Beanie Babies.
Didn't make me feel good about myself.
What was she doing to make you feel good about yourself?
Oh, just being there.
Don't forget the
Being
Avon
there
bottles.
What's that?
I said, don't forget the Avon bottles.
To say nothing?
Yeah, pretty much. Just to agree with me about everything. It made me feel like I wasn't doing everything wrong when I was doing everything wrong.
There was actually like this little documentary. They were talking about your case. They were talking about others too, but they were talking about yours and how quickly it turned. Like, you were presenting yourself as being just somebody, like you said, I felt bad for her and I wanted to talk to her. And then all of a sudden, it turns into sex. And you were flirting with her within the first hour.
I know. I've read it over a few times.
Yeah.
I've tried to evaluate myself.
The attraction there is, I think, what is so fascinating to people. And like I said, what did not turn you off about that? Because I know personally, if I was to be on the computer and a kid approached me and said that I'm 13 or I'm 14, 15, 18, somebody who's significantly younger, it just is automatic no.
That's what I should have said right off the bat.
But you didn't want to.
She was 13. Yeah, something about me didn't want to.
You didn't want to because you were attracted to her.
I don't want to admit that. You're right. I don't want to admit it.
You have to.
But what could I have been attracted to, though? That's what I don't get it. I don't understand it.
She turned you on. So you tell me what you were attracted to.
How could she turn me on?
How was it the idea of her? How did that turn you on?
I don't know.
Drewby, you're spot on. He would say some dumb shit like that.
I never got my mac and cheese, meatballs, and deviled eggs, so Betty can't expect me to set aside that trauma to pay her back. He would say some shit like that. And g'day, John Fishman.
No, you do. You do know. You're the one who spoke to her. You're the one who showed your penis. You're the one who drove to meet her. You're the one who came up with the plan to have this happen. You were the one who came up with the plan to keep it all a secret and how that was going to happen.
I know I hate myself for what I did.
Okay, you hate yourself for what you did. And that's where you're not wanting to admit the reason why, but you know the reason why. You just have to admit it. And then you can figure out what to do from there.
It's obvious that I had bad intentions.
What were those intentions?
And Lorne's Unclimbable Ladder asks, hey C3W, what's your favourite pick of Lorne? That's a hard one to answer because it changes for me all the time. But like, I think consistently my favourite pick of Lorne is the still where from the sting where basically Lorne catches Chris Hansen out of the corner of his eye and he gets that kind of like his head jolts and he gets that really shocked look on his face. I love that just because it looks so funny, but mainly because that is the checkpoint. Like that is basically where his life changed as he knew it. Like that's when his life would never be the same from that point. Like it's like similar to that Simpsons episode where they record Ralph Wiggum's heartbreaking, and there's like, you pause right here, you can see the exact moment his heart breaks, because that's pretty much what happened for Lorne. So I love that. Do you have a favourite Lorne picture?
I do. My favorite picture of all time is one of the nudes that he sent, where it's like him and, he's naked and whatever, but he's holding up this piece of paper that says, I love you, Casey Armstrong. This is right now.
That is awesome. This is right now.
It takes me out every time I see that picture.
Yep. As Sean McClure says, when Chris walks in, it was the first time you see a soul leave a body.
Right.
That's pretty accurate.
I'm going to update my YouTube picture, and it's going to have a sign that says, I love you, fucking... I was going to say something funny, and then I waited too long. But I'm going to hold up a sign that says something, and then this is right now.
Awesome.
Oh,
I fucked that up pretty bad, my bad.
No, that's all good. If it comes back to you, just say
No, it's not that it didn't come back. It's just that I thought that I would have something figured out by the time I got to that point in my sentence, and I did not.
Yeah, no, I do that. I'm like, my brain will catch up along the way, surely, and it just doesn't.
It's obvious that I had bad intentions. I can't read that chat log anymore. I went through that chat log so many times.
Lawson
Trying to
Narita
figure out
says
how
the
the hell-
video of him putting his clothes back on because he's mad kills me.
Yes. That is really good, actually.
That's a great video.
Everything where he does, where it's like, punishment for something you've done through denial of Lorne's nudity is just amazing. Like,
like the video he sent where he's naked in the shower, and he's like, I was going to send you a picture of me naked in the shower, but now you're not getting one. But he's naked it's a video, and he's naked.
Yeah. And just the way he's doing that, like, sure would have loved to be able to send you a picture today, but you had to stay up all night talking to other guys.
Yeah,
it's just so good.
And yes, I can tell you about my creative process.
But he is so delusional. Like he honestly thinks that. I mean, what was it, Ramona at that time? I think it was Ramona, but whoever it was, whoever the fake girlfriend he honestly thinks they'd be sitting there going, "Oh fucking hell, I've really done it now. I want to see that dink so much. I'm never going to do this again. I'm never going to talk to other guys now because I don't want to risk missing more dick pics."
How am I not, what am I going to do if I can't get another come and get your dinner baby video?
I know. I mean, what's the point to life if you don't get those?
Yeah.
G'day, Mr. C.
And all that stuff.
Dinner, baby.
Come get your dinner, baby. Oh, to me, the one thing I hate, the only stuff I hate about what he says in the robot calls is in those text messages where it's like, I wish you were here so we could kick the dogs off the bed and I could eat my breakfast. I fucking hate that.
That's so... Oh my god.
So gross.
He already kicks them off his bed anyway. I doubt he lets him sleep.
Absolutely.
To make me turn around and say all that stuff. And
There's
30
the
years later,
key.
I have a fucking issue with it.
There's the
Now I
key
have
right
such an issue
there.
with it,
Here come the
I can't even
tears.
There's the
read it anymore.
key right there, Lauren. How could I have done that? What happened to me? What did other people do to make me do that? You're looking outward for the answer.
See you, Kathy Mack. Thanks for being here. And
Have a
g'day,
good
Turd
one.
Ferguson.
And the answer is in you.
Funny out.
That's what you have to admit. Why were you attracted to a 13-year-old girl?
Wonder if it's related to somehow of back to my childhood where I got outed for not playing basketball.
Oh, fuck.
I don't know if
Oh,
that's got anything to do with it.
that's so fucking ridiculous. I wonder, he wonders if he was attracted to an underage kid because of his trauma he suffered from being outed from basketball. I mean, that is a very odd link.
You know, I played softball when I was in elementary school, and I wasn't very good at it. You know, I think that may have had an effect on me and the people that I'm attracted to.
Wow. Now, that I'm sorry to hear that. Like, that would have been very traumatic. But the upside here is anything you do wrong in your life, you have a foolproof excuse. You know.
That's true. I could go rob a
be
bank.
blamed. Absolutely. And I don't think they would even arrest you. Or maybe they'll arrest you, but once you explain the situation, you just walk out of there with the money in hand.
I'm gonna wear my oversized T-shirt with all the 9s on it.
Presents.
Sometimes.
Nope.
Because it feels sometimes that's we
Excuse
mean don't
me.
get you say no puff fast.
Yeah.
These are thoughts.
And that is one of my favourite bits in that new Weird Versions one, where he's like, Steelers and the Ravens. And then,
Oh my
like,
god, yes.
Chris gets that look on his face, and the next minute they're watching it together.
Right.
These are thoughts
I
that
need
go
like
through
a whole
my
full
head.
version of that.
Because you're certain.
Yes, that is a good point. Like, I would love if some of those skits in there were expanded on into the full things.
You're searching for other people to be the reason.
Even if I say that I was attracted to a 13-year-old girl, how could I be attracted to her when it's not what I wanted?
Well, it
What
was.
made me
you
attracted
wanted.
to her?
Answer those
Right.
questions. That's a great
Like,
question. What was it? Is it the thought of having a virgin? Is it the thought of someone who's not developed really yet? You tell me.
I know I don't have them thoughts now.
I'm not saying that you do.
Why did I have any thoughts like that before? It's obvious I must have had those thoughts before.
Yeah.
It's all right in the conversation for the whole world to see.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm scared to even be around the kid now. It really sucks
You should be, Lauren.
that my
Absolutely,
whole life
you
has
should be.
turned around like it has. I've gone through the shit that I've gone through because
Because of what
I
you
used to
did.
love, because of what I did.
Yeah.
But I used to love spending time with kids. Even when I was a kid, I loved spending time with kids. You know, it was just awesome to make a kid happy. And
Even when I was a kid.
I forgot that this was from that quote was from this call. Like, that is
Oh my god.
that is such a stupid fucking thing to say. Even when I was a kid, I loved kids.
see them, see the smile that they get when you
Shut up, Lord.
get on your hands and knees and let them get on your back and you
Oh
run
my
around like a
God.
horse.
Oh my god.
This-
he
this-
also liked the smile that they got whenever he bought them little booty shorts.
Yeah, he did. And this is point number 1 or 2 of things you don't want to hear pedophiles say.
Mhm.
I do not want to hear about how much he liked playing with kids and all this kind of shit.
When you give them a piggyback
Yeah.
ride, or when you swing them like they're in a swing set, or when you take them snowmobiling on a ski, and I used to love doing things for kids, even when I was a little kid myself.
Ugh, shut
I
up.
think greatest American hero at my grandparents' 50th wedding anniversary
Fucking hell.
from a little cousin that I think he was only like 4 or 5, and I was only like 8 or 9. He wanted me to get up on stage and sing "Great American Hero," Greatest American Hero.
And honestly, shout out and credit to Tiffany for just listening to this shit and not telling him to shut his fucking mouth. Obviously realizing that, hey, let's get more of this shit, because I don't think I could have held it together on the other end.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't think I've got that much control.
I hope and I pray that she was on mute and just laughing her ass off, because I know I would have been.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, it would have either been, I would have either been laughing, or it would have been like, you know, interjecting with, no, that's fucking ridiculous. Shut up.
Yeah.
G'day, Jason Adams. He says, I'm putting my kid to bed. My headphones died and it started playing out of my phone, and my kid just puked all over as soon as he heard Lorne talking right on cue. That is... Oh, wow.
Okay, that's good.
So
I'm glad you
my
were
mom
able to
set
do
it all-
that.
my mom set it up so that I could get up there and do it,
Okay, Stacey Steele.
Okay.
so I could make him happy. It blows my mind how my life could turn around.
Well, in order for it to turn right side around, you have to be honest with yourself. It's the only way. And that honesty is not going to be easy.
I admit I did wrong. I know for a fact I did wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And it was my fault. It couldn't have been anybody else's fault because nobody else drove me there.
Nope.
Nobody else used my fingers to punch words in on the keyboard. Nobody else said the things that I said.
Do you think Lorne loves
Nobody
his
else
own
told me to get into
fingers?
my head to say that stuff.
What's that?
Do you think Lorne loves his own fingers?
Well, probably as much as he loves his mother's fingers. But
And they go in the toilet.
Jeez.
Right.
So I know that was all me.
Because
Can't
you
figure
wanted
out-
to do it all.
Figure out why I would allow myself to do something. so
G'day, Frank
terrible.
Belville.
Because you wanted to.
Did I want to?
Yeah.
That's why I ask myself that question all the time. Did I really want to? How could I
And the
really have
answer
wanted
is
to?
yes.
But how could
The
I really
answer
have
is
wanted
going to
if-
be
if I
yes.
never,
Every time.
how could I really have wanted to if I had never wanted to before? What made me want to?
Because the opportunity was there.
It spooked me.
And it didn't turn you off. Like the other people in the room. They're probably like, what the fuck is she doing in here?
Where could
I'm not talking to her.
Believe it or not, I'm not home.
And that would be my response too, because I don't have the attraction to a kid. But for you, the opportunity was there. And for a lot of people, I think that
James
kind of
Sanders.
have this fantasy. It's a lot easier
Online and in your
to
mind.
have that come through on the internet, because you can say things that you wouldn't really be able to just go up to a 13-year-old and say, because that would be really scary. She could tell someone, and you can get into a lot of trouble immediately. But when you're online, you can sort of test the waters, and you can say things that you fantasize about.
Yeah, all right.
And if she
that a part of the
gets
call?
scared, or she's, oh my gosh,
Okay.
Yeah, this is part of the call, everyone.
you're old and bald and a fat ass,
George, are you there?
and she can do that, and it's not going
You're
to matter.
old and bald and a fat
Stupid
ass.
message. I know you're avoiding me. I'm at the office. Please call me.
Is that a boat?
Sorry, no, that was my phone. Sorry.
No. Is your phone dying?
No, I'm on my house phone, so that was my other phone.
Oh. If you want to continue talking, can you call me back in 10 minutes so I can charge my headset up a little bit?
Actually, I'm going to get going. It's time for me to get going.
Okay.
No.
So I hope that
Alright.
you sort of,
Sad Lorne is sad.
we talked about a lot of stuff, and I hope that you're able to remember that. Remember it tomorrow. Remember the things that we talked about. Maybe a little bit of advice that I gave you. And one of the most important things is to be the type of man who follows through on his own commitments. So when you say, I'm not going to drink anymore because I want to be a better person, I don't like the person that I become when I drink, then do that. And don't make excuses like, well, I go over to my friend's house and that's what he does. That's kind of what we do. If that's the case, then you need to have new friends. Then you can't go over there. If that's a trigger for you to do that, then you can't do it.
Well, he has to go over to Tony's because if he doesn't, Tony will drink Budweiser, and Tony don't do so good on Budweiser.
He doesn't do good on Budweiser. So he's really doing Tony a service there.
Exactly.
So while you're doing that writing, I would suggest you work on your vagina drawing because I saw that one too.
The color I can draw.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he only drew one clit.
I am too. Maybe he didn't find out about the extra clits until after that one.
Maybe he just forgot to label it.
Yeah, potentially.
she really loved that.
Pretty bad, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Yeah, there's a lot of open space at the top there where the clit's supposed to be, but that's okay.
Did you see the picture of her that I drew though? Or well, what I thought was her.
Oh, the picture? I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
She asked me to draw a picture of her, and so I took one of the
Draw a
pictures
picture.
that she sent me that I thought was her, and I drew that.
Oh, that's sweet. Well, anyway, I'm going to get going. So enjoy the rest of your evening. Hope you wake up refreshed, and you're going to be a new person tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm gonna
really
sit down and do some writing because I gotta change the way I'm a lot of things.
Yeah, change everything, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Change it all.
Have a lovely evening.
You too.
Okay, bye.
Always enjoy a good K-bye. So that's that one. We got through it.
Yeah.
I really that's such a great call.
Oh yeah, it's definitely up there for me.
Yep. And so we have been going for a while, but this new Blue Boy vid's about 1.5 minutes. So do you have you got another couple of minutes to spare?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, sweet. All right. Let me get this sorted.
What is the video again?
So it's advice from his attorney, I think. I haven't actually watched it.
From a bus stop bench attorney.
Yeah, so the title is Solid Advice from a Bus Stop Bench Attorney. So let's see if I can get that actually queued up. Yes, it looks like it is queued up. 1 second, guys. Make sure that I don't fuck up like I did yesterday. There we go.
Dear Lauren, I am pleased to have the opportunity to lay out my thoughts on Casey, the actress who portrayed the underage woman who set you up in the sting that led to your 2008 conviction, for which you served 5 years and are now on supervised release for life. Lauren, you are an overly trusting man. Look at Casey for who she is and what her motives might be in reconnecting with you. Casey, for money, lied, pretended she was someone she is not, to set you up for those 5 years. Had she not done that, you might not have been convicted. Sure, it could have happened any number of different ways without her scheming against you. But the important, undeniable fact is that she schemed against you and burned you bad. By lying.
This is a lawyer?
For money. Your connection to
this
her
has
now
gotta be
is
like a
weird
troll.
and risky.
Yep.
In order for the idea of reconnecting with Casey to be reasonable, You would have to have rock-solid reasons to trust that she is not going to exploit you a second time by lying to you to get money. That would not just be blind trust. It would be extremely reckless and irresponsible trust. I have no doubt that your personal interest in Casey is not suspicious. However, her interest in you is suspicious. Nothing she can say or do can lift that suspicion. Please follow this advice. Avoid all contact with her.
Wow. I don't know. Some of the way they write it is not how I'd imagine an attorney would write. But
So, what I imagine is that it was a troll who was trying to figure out how to convince Lorne not to try to contact Casey.
yeah, and I mean, I'd love more context too, but I'd love to know the context too if this was real. Like, in what context did he contact this lawyer to? So that's a whole lot. That's broken my brain a little bit there. So
It's a good thing it's the end of the stream.
It is. I don't know if I'd be able to function if it was the start there. So anyway, guys, I might go and rewatch that. I think after this and see if, because Blue Boy usually gives a bit of context in the description, so probably should have read that as well. But firstly, thank you very much, Evil McNuggets, for coming back again. We'll have to do this again in the future. It's a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on. I always have a lot of fun on here.
Anytime, and thank you to everyone in the chat. You guys are what really makes this such a great time. So yeah, look.
Thank you all for being born.
Well said. Thank you all for being born. And yeah, so speaking of that line, Ilrig, or the Zapper, or whatever the fuck he's calling himself these days, will be back tomorrow with another couple of chapters from Taken Abroad. That's been a lot of fun, and then later in the week, I'll be streaming with Sprinkle Cake. So that'll be a lot of fun too. So yeah. Don't forget to delete your archives. Anything from you before we head off, Evil?
No, just that I had a lot of fun and I love you all very much.
Awesome. All right. See you soon, guys.